In this video, we're going to talk a little bit more about time entry and manipulating time entries. In the last video, we clocked into a project, clocked out of a project, and added some descriptions to it. So we're going to talk about what happens if that information was wrong or if you wanted to add time a different way. So we're going to go to the hours button on the bottom tab. So you see our entry from last time. The project was the test project. The task was the con, finish, install, finish. It was 7 minutes. It was from 4:21 to 4:28. So I can leave that alone if that's accurate, or I can tap on it and I can edit it, and I can now manually override what happened. So let's say instead of using these hours worked, because this isn't going to really equate or make sense in terms of total time on a project as far as billable time. We bill in quarter-hour increments. So I'd have to have at least 15 minutes on the project for this to really make sense. So let's say, I clocked in at 4:20. I meant to clock in. I totally forgot that day. I was actually there at 9 a.m. And I clocked out for lunch. Let's say, not 1:30 a.m. But let's say I clocked out at 12 p.m. And again, that's all fine. And boom. So I changed my 7-minute entry to a 3-hour entry on this specific day for these specific times. But you know what? As I was there from 9 to 12, but then I got back there at 1 o'clock and I was there till 4. So I've got to add that time. So I'm going to click the add time entry at the top. I'm going to pick the date that I'm adding the time entry, which is the 26th. I'm going to say the start time was, we said 1 p.m. and the finish time was 4 p.m. And keep in mind, you guys can enter this manually. I'm just using the wheel here to do that. The project is going to be the same project, that con project. The task is that same task, the finish. This was finish labor. And I'm just going to say continued day 1. Okay, so now I have 6 hours logged against this particular task of my time. Again, this is not your payroll time. This is the time we're billing to the project. So some notes here on what you did would be very useful. The time in, time out would be very useful. And again, as you add more time to projects, you'll be able to come to this hours screen and see all of your time listed by days, by project. You'll be able to search entries as well. So this is a great way of managing and looking at your time to make sure everything's accurate. When I go back to the dashboard, you'll see that I'm still able to do the clock in process if I want to do that, so I have not affected that. But I could always go to hours and manually add time. So specific to tasks, this is how you calculate your time.